so funny, that I'm a first-time parent, so all of the stuff that I used to kind of like, wave my hands in the air and pretend that I knew what I was talking about when it came to parenting issues. Now I'm actually doing it for the first time.
Living it.
It's been quite a series of revelations.
How old is she, Malcolm? She's like a year?
Just about a year, yeah. About to walk.
How's that been for you? Because it can be overwhelming.
Oh, it's been fantastic. I mean, she's delightful. So I think we got lucky. But I mean, I think all parents think their children are delightful. But
no, they don't. That's not true.
Is that not true? I hope your kids aren't listening.
I mean, like periods of delight, but maybe not universally delightful.
No, it's just been. I mean, the thing that I've been going through is the thing that every parent goes through, which is you discover all these things and you think, oh, I've discovered some previously unknown truth about parenting, and of course, everyone else went through exactly the same revelation, right? So, the big revelation that, oh, even at a year, I kind of can tell how this little creature is going to turn out, right? Like,
yes.
That's so weird that there's something essential already there, right? That
is so true. All three of mine have the same personality now that they did when they were 1 year old. You could definitely project it. And I don't know. And it's not even necessarily like, oh, this one's Doug or this one's me. It's not that either. Like they come fully formed with a totally different nature, personality. They say that the kids inherit mannerisms, but they don't inherit personalities in most cases. So it's like you may be dealing with something that's totally unfamiliar to you.
Yeah, I know. I'm already bracing for it.
So where are you living now? Are you still in New York City?
I live upstate.
Okay.
We moved up actually before COVID, and then that's from I work out of upstate, and we've relocated out of the city.
Those are my people, upstate New York. That's where I'm from. First 10 years in Syracuse and the rest in Albany. So I know that area well. It's very beautiful. Upstate New York doesn't get enough credit for how gorgeous it is. Having spent a lot of time in the beautiful Montana, I feel like I can speak to this. It's truly one of the most beautiful states in the union.
I had not realized you started out in Syracuse.
Mm-hmm. First 10 years, wow. My dad taught at the university there. And then he took a job at SUNY Albany. So we moved to the tundra farther east of Albany, New York. I've only lived in frigidly cold cities, except for like the year I did in Virginia.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Didn't know that.
So now at the risk of probing too far into your personal life, is there a spouse? Is there a partner? Do I get to know like what the family situation looks like?
Yes, there is. Absolutely. But no, you're not getting any more information than that. She's very private. So I think I will respect that in a moment.
But you guys are together and raising your baby together?
Yes. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's
nuclear family.
Well, seriously, thank God, because it's a lot easier when you're on your own. And a lot of people do it by choice now, but a lot of people do it because a tragedy struck. I don't understand how those single parents do it. I have such respect for them because it is so much work, and you do have a lot of responsibility. And so the thought to just round it out that perhaps not everything that's going to happen with this child is actually on you. Perhaps if they're high strung, they're just going to be high strung, or if they're, I don't know, like not that athletic, whatever it is, whatever thing you're beating yourself up on that you need to change. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just need love and support.
Well, it reminds me, when I was in my 30s, I used to go to see a therapist. And of course, this therapist did what therapists like to do, which is to invite you to blame all of your problems on your parents. And it's awfully kind of enticing to do that because it's a convenient explanation for all the things you don't want to take responsibility for. But now that I'm actually a parent, I sort of see how hollow that is. Like, it was really unfair for me to blame things on my parents at that age. Just me. For any, go ahead.
And I was going to say, I was thinking about my own magic wand experiment. Like, what would I do? I'm not a scientist, but I talk a lot on the show about how, somewhat facetiously, that you need it. your kids need to be somewhat damaged in order to be successful. This is my own personal hypothesis that if everything's too perfect, they're probably not going to be that successful. There needs to be, in order to create drive in a human being, something they need to overcome or feel like they got to do better on. And so to me, if I could do the magic wand, I'd have a version where, trying to figure out how much damage is the right amount. You don't want to crush them, but you want to create a couple of issues that they need to overcome. This is why no one's hiring me to work in a lab.
Well, there's the phrase that psychologists use to describe what you just talked about is called desirable difficulty. And the desirable difficulty, there's a whole kind of literature on that. And that is, the easiest way to think about this is in terms of learning. So is it useful, if you're trying to master a subject, to have some period of struggle at the beginning? And the answer is it does seem to be useful. So I remember, for example, the first time they were teaching long division in public school. And I'm my dad's a mathematician. So I was ashamed when I struggled. I remember to this day sitting in class and looking at the blackboard and thinking, I don't understand what's going on, and this is awful because I should. My dad is teaching math at the university. This is all this kind of stuff. And the result of that, though, was I took math really seriously, and it made me kind of work harder. It made me go and talk to my father about math. All kinds of good things happened because there was that moment when I realized this wasn't going to come easy. That's a small example, but there's a whole literature pointing out how useful that kind of. Now, if the struggle is too great, then it's obviously a problem, right? If I was dyslexic and all the numbers were backwards, that's a very different kind of difficulty. If I can't see the blackboard because I should have glasses and no one's giving me glasses, that's another kind of problem, right? So you don't want that's why they use the phrase desirable difficulty. It's to your point, it's figuring out what's the right amount of friction that we can introduce into a learning process that makes the learning process more meaningful to the learner. That's the question.
Yes. Bond Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Founded on science and inspired by nature, all Bond Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern-day world. From blue light glasses to red light therapy to EMF management and circadian-friendly lighting, Bond Charge products help you naturally address the issues of our modern-day way of life effortlessly. Their glasses come in non-prescription, prescription, and reading options. Bond Charge also has other amazing products like low blue light bulbs, red light therapy devices, EMF 5G protection, and 100% blackout sleep masks, all backed by science. They can ship worldwide in rapid time. And most importantly, they have easy returns and exchanges. Go to bondcharge.com/MK and use coupon code MK to save 20%. That's BONCHARGE.com/MK and use that coupon code MK to save yourself 20%. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.